Hi everybody, I'm Monica Morales and you're watching the Monica Makes It Happen social media show. We're coming to you from our streaming studio. You know it. It's Women's History Month and we're celebrating the power of women. Talking about women and wealth. And we have an amazing guest right now. The biz lawyer is here. We just love her. She has her own show too. But first, this.
Monica Makes It Happen is proudly supported by Goya. If it's Goya, it has to be good.
I'm so excited to have you here.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for inviting me.
You know, it's funny. I always say we need a good lawyer. You always need a good lawyer to watch out for your rights. But now that we're doing so many incredible moguls, mostly women of a certain age, I always say greater later. We're going to talk to Bevy Smith about that as well. But back to you. Tell me a little bit about being a lawyer, specifically focusing in on the trademarks and protecting your, why do something like that? It seems like you're really passionate about it.
I am. And I always tell people you need to secure the brand so that you can secure the bag. And oftentimes people go and they build businesses and brands without securing them first. So it's important that I educate people on why that security is important before they begin to always just build the business. I always ask people, will you build a house on land you don't own? Would you build a house on land?
No.
Right? So it doesn't make sense. So then I ask people, then why would we build a business or a brand if we don't own it?
You realize I'm sweating as you're talking about, because that is a common mistake that a lot of the women watching. Are you listening, ladies?
Yeah.
This is important. If you have a business, you gotta own it. You gotta own the trademark. Okay,
Yeah.
Is it simple to do? Let's spill the tea. The trademark tea is what you call it. And of course you have a show called The Biz Lawyer TV show. You have to check it out. Is it on YouTube?
It's actually called Trademark Tea.
Trademark Tea,
Yes.
I love that.
Trademark Tea with the Biz Lawyer. And so we're still taping it and we're about to launch it very soon. And it'll be launched on IHQ Network.
I love it. I'm watching because I've already learned so much just talking to you now for a few minutes. And I know we've talked off camera. I'm going to take some of your advice too. The biggest mistake people do is that, right? Is not, so what's the first step that you can do? Like right now, if you're watching and you're starting a business, you might actually have a thriving business and you don't know any of this stuff.
Yeah. Well, if you already have built the business and you already have launched the business, just talk to a trademark lawyer first so that you can secure the rights. But if you're in the process of, thinking about starting a business, about to launch the business, first develop, I always tell people, the more unique your name is, the easier it's going to be to protect it. Also have it secured with the government, but then also protect it from infringers. So if you think about it, like the biggest companies that we see out here, like Nike, Exxon, Disney, right? Those trademarks are so valuable because they really don't mean anything as it relates to their products or service. So it doesn't really give their competitors a reason to use their name, but for if they're trying to infringe on it. So those are always the easiest types to actually protect and secure, right? But once you develop the name, right, then you want to also conduct the research. A lot of people, they begin to just, oh, that's the name. I love it. I'm adopting it. And they begin to build the brand, right?
Yeah.
But they don't do any research. And what do we always do before we go buy a house?
Oh my gosh. You research and you
do a title search, right?
Yes.
So you got to do a clearance search for the actual name as well before you actually adopt the brand, because guess what? You might be sitting, let's say, in the state of New York and you adopt that name and you even went and got an LLC or a corporation, right? But then what ends up happening is someone actually in, let's say, California actually owns the trademark, and now they can stop you from using the name, even in the state of New York.
You deal with these stories and these clients all the time, but you're like the expert, the go-to person, which I'm starting to see. Every woman who owns a business needs to consult someone like you.
Absolutely.
And now you're specializing. Who are your, if you were going to define your clients, who would you, do you define them as people like me? People who are maybe a little bit, how do we put it, more seasoned, and they're starting to build their companies and they're becoming moguls, and they're becoming powerful,
Yeah.
but they just need a little bit of help to kind of make sure that their assets are protected.
Exactly. So my ideal client is someone who is possibly in, in the beauty industry, fashion industry.
Yeah.
Can you
Can you show me some of your clients? Are you allowed to? I think you're not allowed to.
Not
right?
really, right?
But there's some big.
But I have
people.
clients like you as well who are public figures, right? And they're building brands in the public space, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, they're building amazing brands beyond what they're doing because they have an audience, they have a tribe, and they love everything that's connected to them.
I have my tribe.
Yes.
I have my tribe. And when I first started, you start with 3 or 4, and then you get 500,000 people who really count on you for not just fixing things, but kind of information. And that's what we want to be right here on our social media show. So thank you for being on.
No problem.
You really, and if you want more from the Biz Lawyer, you can. We're going to do a podcast with her. Number 8 is going to be with the Biz Lawyer. You can check her out. How do we find you?
You can go to Instagram at the Biz Lawyer and follow me on Instagram at the Biz Lawyer, or go to my.
That's how I follow you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Or go to my website. Now we have www.rjpiercelaw.com. Or if it's easy for you, go to securethebrand.com.
I love it. And everybody needs a good lawyer, and you not only know everything, but you have a big heart to make sure that we're doing the right thing.
Absolutely.
And a mind for business. So we really appreciate you being. So again, if you want more, we're going to be talking to her on our podcast, number 8. You can watch us every night at 5:45 and 6:45 on Pix 11 News. Actually, we're doing a story with you, Greater Later, because so many of the women that I'm talking to who are just running things now are greater later. That is the theme that we're seeing. So, and we're moms making it happen too. Add on top of that. Thank you, studio audience. Can I hear the studio audience? Oh, Joe's even clapping, my producer, my fabulous producer. Let's keep making it happen together. See you next time. Thanks. You were the best.
Thank you.
So much fun.